When delving into the world of open source accounting, GnuCash stands out as a powerful and free tool. For both individuals and small businesses, it offers a robust, double-entry accounting system without the associated costs of commercial software. However, like any sophisticated application, GnuCash has its own set of internal workings and data files that can sometimes be a mystery to the average user. One such component that often comes up in discussions about troubleshooting or data recovery is the GnuCash log file. A common question among those who need to look under the hood is, what is the format of the GnuCash log? As an accounting software expert, I can tell you that understanding the GnuCash log format isn't something most users need to worry about for their day-to-day operations. The log file is primarily a tool for developers and advanced users to diagnose issues. However, knowing what it is and what it looks like can be incredibly helpful for troubleshooting, especially if you encounter a crash, an unexpected error, or a data corruption issue. To be clear, the GnuCash log file isn't a human-readable ledger of your financial transactions. That information is stored in the main data file, which is typically an XML-based file with a .gnucash or .gcm extension. The log file, on the other hand, is a record of the program's activities, actions, and any errors that occurred during a session. The basic format of the GnuCash log file. The GnuCash log file is a plain text file, which is a major benefit. This means you can open it with any basic text editor, like Notepad on Windows, TextEdit on Mac OS, or 6/Nano on Linux, and read its contents. It does not use a complex or proprietary binary format, making it accessible for anyone to inspect. The log file is structured in a very simple, chronological manner. Each line or block of text represents a specific event, and these events are time-stamped. A typical entry in the GnuCash log will generally follow this pattern. Timestamp, log level, source, message. Let's break down each of these components. Timestamp. This is a date and timestamp that marks when the event occurred. It's usually in a standard format like YYYMDDHH, NEM, SS. This is critical for tracing the sequence of events leading up to an error. Log level. The log level indicates the severity or type of the message. GnuCash, like most software, uses a standard logging hierarchy. You might see levels like info, general informational messages about what the program is doing. Warning, an event that might be problematic but doesn't prevent the program from running. Critical, a serious error that could lead to data loss or program instability. Error, a significant problem that has occurred. Debug, highly detailed messages used by developers to trace program execution. These are often only enabled for specific troubleshooting scenarios. Source, this part of the log entry indicates the specific part of the GnuCash program that generated the message. It might refer to a particular module, a function, or a subsystem, e.g., GNC Core, QOF Backend, GNC-SCM. This helps developers pinpoint where an issue is originating. Message. This is the actual text description of the event. It could be a simple statement like starting GnuCash or a more detailed error message, often including file paths, specific error codes, or other technical details that would be meaningless to a casual user but vital to a developer. Where to find the log file? The location of the GnuCash log file can vary slightly depending on your operating system. GnuCash typically stores it in a hidden directory within your user profile. Linux /.gnucash/ Mac OS /library application support GnuCash/ Windows %aptita% /GnuCash /logs /. The file is usually named GnuCash.trace or something similar. When you open it, you'll see a running history of GnuCash's internal operations from multiple sessions, with new entries added to the bottom. The purpose of the log file for a user. While you won't use the log file for daily accounting, is an invaluable tool in a few specific scenarios. After a crash, if GnuCash crashes unexpectedly, the log file is the first place to look. The last entries in the file will likely contain critical or error messages that explain what went wrong. This information can be used when reporting a bug to the GnuCash development team, which is a key part of the open source ecosystem. Data corruption issues. If you're experiencing strange behavior, like transactions not saving correctly or accounts appearing to be out of balance, the log file might contain clues about underlying data corruption or file-related errors. Debugging new features. For advanced users who might be testing new plugins or features, the log file could be a window into whether those features are working as expected. A practical example. Let's imagine you've just tried to open your GnuCash file and it fails to load. You look in a log file and find a series of entries that end with something like this. October 27th, 2023, 10:30 and 15 seconds. Critical GNC CMXML underscore file. File /home/user/documents/my_accounts.GnuCash has invalid XML syntax at line 1234. This single log entry tells you everything you need to know to start troubleshooting. When the error happened at 10:30 on October 27th. What was being done? The program was trying to read a GnuCash file in XML format. The specific error, the XML syntax is invalid, where the error is in the file /home/user/documents/my_accounts.GnuCash at line 1234. With this information, you could use a text editor to go to line 1234 of your data file and try to identify the corruption, or use a backup to restore the file. The GnuCash log format is a simple, chronological, plain text record of the program's internal activity. It is structured with a timestamp, a log level, a source, and a message. While it's not meant for day-to-day use, it is an indispensable diagnostic tool for troubleshooting errors, providing a window into the inner workings of GnuCash and enabling users to contribute to its development by reporting accurate bug information.